Help me reach 1,000 subscribers. Please, like the video and share your thoughts. In the comments, your feedback helps. Make the content better. The zipper let out a soft sigh as it gave way, and the blister pack slid across the hardwood, spinning once before coming to rest against my shoe. 12 tiny pills, still sealed in their foil cases, the words Levenven or Gestel glaring at me like accusations. My wife's tote, always slung over the same chair, always left half-zipped because she trusted the world not to look, had betrayed her first. I froze in the kitchen doorway. Grocery bag still biting red lines into my palms, the smell of rain clinging to my jacket, mixing with the burnt toast tang of panic. Mark! Sarah's voice drifted from the hallway light, teasing, almost playful. You're home early. The word lodged in my throat. I had left the office at 4, eager to cook her favorite risotto, the one with the lemon zest she pretended not to like, but always finished. I had imagined her face when I told her I'd taken tomorrow off, just the two of us, maybe a drive to the coast. Instead, I stared at emergency contraception, pills that suggested a crisis that didn't exist in our life. We use condoms sometimes, yes, but never this, never the morning after kind, never the kind that belonged to a stranger's mistake. She appeared in the doorway, hair twisted into a messy bun with a pencil, cheeks flushed from whatever she'd been doing upstairs. Her smile faltered the instant she met my eyes, then landed on the floor. The pack lay between us like a landmine. "Oh," she said, soft, almost apologetic. "That's not what you think." The grocery bag slipped from my fingers. Milk splashed, spreading across the floor like surrender. "Then tell me what it is," I said, voice cracking on the last word, betraying me as everything else had. Sarah knelt, fingers trembling as she scooped the pills back into the foil. "A friend," she said. "Jenna," she asked me to hold them, didn't want her husband to find them. Jenna, the name hit me like a slap. Jenna, who cried at our wedding, who sent Sarah memes at 2 a.m, who had never once mentioned problems with Tom. I wanted to believe her. God, I wanted to. But the lie tasted metallic on my tongue before she even finished speaking. Jenna needed you to carry her abortion pills in your work bag. Morning after, she corrected too quickly. Too quickly. Not abortion. Just precaution. I laughed, a sound I didn't recognize. Precaution for what, Sarah? We haven't needed precaution in months. You told me the IUD was fine. You told me. I know what I told you, she said, voice sharp and breaking. She stood, clutching the pack like evidence. I panicked. Okay, Jenna called me hysterical. I said I'd help. I didn't think you'd find them. I finished because I wasn't supposed to look in your bag. 8 years, Sarah. 8 years. And I had never once gone through your things. Not your purse, not a drawer, not your phone. And now I wished I had. The silence that followed was worse than screaming. Outside, the rain that had threatened all day finally fell, drumming on the windows like it wanted in on the secret. Sarah's eyes filled, but she didn't cry. Not yet, she said, calculating, weighing what to admit, what to bury. I need air, I said, turning toward the door. Mark, wait. She grabbed my wrist, fingers cold. Please, let me explain. I looked at her hand, at the wedding band I'd saved 6 months to buy. Explain what? That you've been lying for weeks, months? That those aren't Jenna's pills, they're yours. And the only question is whose DNA you flushed down the toilet this morning. Her face went pale. The pencil slipped from her hair, clattering to the floor. That was the moment I knew. Not from the pills, not from the bag, but from the way her shoulders folded inward like a house of cards in wind. One time, she whispered. I didn't mean. One time is still a choice, Sarah. I interrupted, voice sharp. One time is still you in someone else's bed while I was asleep 20 feet away. She flinched, as if I had struck her. It was after the holiday party, she said, voice barely audible. You were sick, flu. I went alone. I drank too much. He walked me to my car. I don't even remember the hotel. The holiday party 3 weeks ago. I'd woken delirious, fevered, reaching for a side of the bed and finding it cold. She'd come in at dawn, kiss my forehead, said the Uber had taken forever. I had believed her. I thanked her for letting me sleep. I sank onto the bottom stair, grocery milk pooling around my shoes. Who? I asked, though I wasn't sure I wanted the answer. Sarah hesitated. The rain hammered harder. Does it matter? It matters to me, I said. She closed her eyes. David from accounting. He's leaving the firm next month. It was nothing. A mistake. David. I pictured him, tall, smug, oversprayed with cologne, the guy who had joked at the punch bowl about locking down a woman like Sarah. I had laughed, proud. Now the memory tasted like bile. Nothing. I echoed. You risked everything for nothing. I know, she whispered. A tear finally escaped, sliding down her cheek. I hate myself. I woke up and threw up for an hour. Not from a hangover, from shame. I got the pills on the way home. I was going to tell you. I swear I was, but you didn't. My voice hardened. You carried them around like a secret trophy, waiting to see if nature would solve it for you. She had no answer. The hallway clock ticked louder than it ever had. I thought of all the nights I'd fallen asleep to the sound of her breathing, trusting it like gravity. I thought of the sonogram on the fridge from our miscarriage 2 years ago, the one we still couldn't take down. I thought of her tears in my arms, promising we'd try again when we were ready. Ready? What a joke. I can't be here, I said, standing, legs feeling borrowed. Mark, please. She reached for me, but I stepped back. Milk squelched under my shoe. We can fix this. Counseling. Whatever you need. I'll quit. I'll fix this. I laughed again, bitter. You can't fix trust, Sarah. You can only bury it. I walked past her, up the stairs. She followed, pleading, words blurring into static. In our bedroom, I pulled the suitcase from the closet, the one we bought for our honeymoon. She watched as I tossed in jeans, T-shirts, the photo of us at the Grand Canyon she had framed last year. When I zipped it shut, the sound was final. Where will you go? She asked, voice small. Anywhere but here. I paused at the top of the stairs. The blister pack still lay on the kitchen floor, glinting under the light. I wanted to crush it under my heel, but I didn't. Let it stay. Let it remind her every time she walked past. At the front door, I turned. Sarah stood halfway down the stairs, hair loose, mascara streaked, looking like the girl I met at 22, the one who stole my hoodie and never gave it back. I hated that I still loved her. I trusted you with my whole life, I said, and you threw it away for a drunk night with a man who won't even remember your name next month. I remember yours, she whispered. Every second I opened the door. The rain had stopped. The air smelled clean, like the world had washed itself while we tore ours apart. I stepped onto the porch, suitcase rolling behind me. Mark! She called one last time. I didn't turn. The door clicked softly shut, the sound echoing like a heartbeat I no longer shared.